Hey everybody, welcome back to Cosmic Life Astrology. Today we are talking about the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse happening on September 18th. So with this eclipse, we see the lunar eclipse happening at 25 degrees of Pisces. It will be conjuncting Neptune and will be about 11 degrees away from the North Node in Aries. So we have an out of sign eclipse happening because we have the eclipse in Pisces and the North Node in Aries. That's why it's called an out of sign eclipse. And we also see the eclipse making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn, both which are retrograde. Now, with all that, there's also a lot of energy that has been transpiring over this past weekend to really support the eclipse and influence what it's going to bring about. Now, let's backtrack to what's happening in the days leading up to the eclipse. We saw Venus make a trine to Jupiter, which is the two benefics in the sky making a positive connection with each other. This could have been, developments with love or money. I think it would be more so with love because Venus is in Libra, which is about relationships and, the other. But with Jupiter lining up with Venus in this trine, this can bring about gifts or greater wisdom or more optimistic feelings regarding the potential of love and, your financial endeavors. There could have been news of whether it's promotions or someone that you're communicating with that, may develop into something more significant going forward. And we saw this trine also then make a grand air trine when the moon was in Aquarius over the weekend as well. So, I think that was even more supportive towards having those emotional conversations and having greater wisdom and using your intuition to find balance, to help you create more harmony and peace, to really bring a fresh perspective to what's been going on or things that you've been, handling recently. I say recently because you have the moon involved and Venus involved, so they move pretty quickly. Jupiter is a slower moving energy, so Jupiter's got a lot of positive long-term influence. So whatever transpired could be, giving you that boost of hope to push through whatever changes will be coming about, especially now that we're in eclipse season. This is a time for change for most people. With eclipses, generally they're a portal, right? You have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. There's usually a closing out of something and the beginning of something new, right? And a lot of times you will see big changes in your life happening during eclipse season. And sometimes if it's not close to or connecting with a personal planet or a significant point in your chart, you may not see anything too significant happening. But either way, the energy is very ripe for changes. So, if changes aren't being brought upon you, this could be a good time to reevaluate things and, change what you feel you need to change. Take the initiative on something that keeps you on your path that you're trying to navigate, right? With the sextile to Uranus retrograde and Pluto retrograde in earth signs, we're very much focused on change. Uranus likes to shake things up and bring about surprises and change things and, is like a rebel in its own way because it likes to do its own thing and it doesn't care about people following in its footsteps. Uranus is very unpredictable in that way, where, it's the planet of the higher mind. So it's guided, by that higher mind. And it may not be a straight line that Uranus takes you on, but it does connect you with where you need to go. And with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, we are really looking at, what has been finishing up in our life during the Pluto 16-year journey that it's had in Capricorn. Pluto gave us a taste of what potentials lie ahead when it was dabbling in Aquarius for a brief moment in time before it went retrograde. And, it's with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, you're either finishing touches on those changes or putting that final nail in the coffin, so to speak, or you're being tested as to what you've learned since Pluto went into Capricorn. And it's as if Pluto is saying, are you done with this lesson? Are you ready for the next chapter yet? And if you are, then, this energy is going to really bring in those changes. If you haven't finished learning whatever lessons Pluto was trying to teach in Capricorn, now's a testing point where it's like, okay, can we be done with this now? I'm gonna throw it right in your face. What needs to change in your life? So this way we can finally let go of this. That sextile to Neptune, right? Wants to dissolve. And, the eclipse may highlight something significant that happens or comes to your awareness where you can't not see it, right? And I say that because when you have these sextiles to outer planets that are at the last degrees of the sign that they've been in, and we have an out of sign conjunction to the North Node, we're really being pressured to see what needs to be released, what needs to be completed, what needs to be dissolved, and where we need to let go of things. There could be something that you've been working on for quite some time. Say, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. With eclipses, we haven't seen a Pisces eclipse in 18 years, right? So there could be a chapter in your life, coincidentally, Pluto has been in Capricorn for majority of the time since we've last seen Pisces eclipses, right? So there could be a chapter in your life where you're either closing it out or it's coming to a big culmination, right? So say you've been in a career for the past 18 years and you've been, really struggling hard to climb up the corporate ladder over the past 18 years. And you've been moving up, slowly and in increments. And it's been, it hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of work and blood, sweat, and tears. And because of this culmination point, because of this eclipse at the end of Pisces conjuncting Neptune, there could be like that final dream come true opportunity of you finally making that step or getting to that point where you've always wanted to be at, where you always want to accomplish that title, right? And this could be the beginning of that chapter where you're like, okay, I'm no longer considered, say, in the service sector. Now I'm going to be in a higher level of authority, right? Something of that nature. I'm just giving examples here. The chapter that you could be closing out may not be, tumultuous and, detrimental and scary. It could be something more on the evolving side, right? Where you've gone through it, you've done the work, you've learned a lot of lessons in the past 18 years, between that being the last time we saw Pisces eclipse and, you know, when Pluto started dabbling in Capricorn. There may have been a lot that you've had to work through, but now you've evolved and you're ready for that next step, that level up, right? More so because of that conjunction with the North Node, we're looking to level up. We're looking to our future and what's in line with our goals, Aries, right? You may be leveling up in relationships where you realize, okay, these kinds of relationships didn't serve me in the past, and I've learned what I want and what I don't want. And I'm going to close out the chapter of being in relationships that are exactly what I don't want. And I'm going to really focus in on finding what it is I do want in partners, right? So there's like, you know, an evolutionary change and influence that could be happening in your life with the eclipse. And we also see, right before the eclipse happens, Mars is squaring the North Node and the South Node. So Mars is feeling the pressure of looking back to the past and looking forward to the future. And it's like, you know, this point of contention of, ooh, I'm really comfortable and I'm kind of scared to make this move because I don't know what it's going to be like. You know, that whole fear of the unknown kind of energy. You know, especially when you're talking about Cancer. Cancer likes the known. They like their safe little haven. They like to be home, you know, and comfortable. And they, you know, maneuver themselves a little sideways, because, you know, they have to scope things out and they really have to study things in order to know, do I like it or do I not like this, right? Does this make me feel safe? Does it not make me feel safe? Is this comfortable or is this uncomfortable? So there's this point of contention where Mars is looking at the nodes and it's like, okay, you know, it's like dealing with the devil you know versus the devil you don't know, right? And in this case, you're really being pushed to go towards the devil you don't know. Because what you don't know is that with the North Node in Aries, you're being pushed towards something that is better for you, a future that is more true to who you are, things that are more in line with what you need and where you're trying to go on your journey of life. And so it's like, you know, whatever wasn't serving you from the past, South Node, whatever may have been toxic when we're talking about Pisces and Neptune energy, whatever may have been, you know, based off of illusions and, you know, rose-colored glasses, whatever didn't pan out the way that you envisioned it to or wanted it to, you have to let that go, because that just further tells you that there's something better for you ahead. It didn't work out for a reason, you know, and it's okay to let go of what you thought things would be like, what you wanted things to turn out like, and, you know, the visions that you had for your life that you thought would make you happy. You thought this is what was true for you. And this year has been a year of showing you, okay, these are things that are in line with who you are, what you need, what you want from your life, and what changes are you going to make to have that. And I love that we have, you know, these influences from Jupiter trining Venus, from Mars squaring the nodes, because it's going to influence the eclipse season. I really think, you know, especially when we look ahead towards the Libra solar eclipse, which will be closer to the South Node, you know, there's very much an emphasis on relationships. You know, we have the nodes in the relationship axis, and we have eclipses happening. You know, the Libra eclipse will be happening. This will be the last one happening. So, you know, when we saw the first Libra eclipse happen, you know, we were presented with something that that had to change in our relationships for one reason or another. And we've been working with that energy for the past year. And we've been shown in different ways, you know, what relationships need to be let go of, what kind of relationships we want for the future. And this may not pertain to everybody in a romantic sense. This could be relationships with coworkers, with friends, with family members, you know, relationships of any kind, right? We've really been shown, you know, how they affect our life, and, you know, which ones are bringing us forward and helping us evolve, and which ones are holding us back. And the Libra eclipse is like, okay, now that you realize what is holding you back, let it go so you can evolve forward to the next chapter. You know, the things that aren't going to hold you back, they're going to help you evolve and help you reach, you know, your ultimate, whatever that ultimate is, whether it's, you know, that ultimate romantic relationship, or, you know, the great group of friends that you always wanted to have in your life, or the ultimate dynamics in your family where, you know, nobody's fighting, everyone's getting along, spending time with each other and making memories together. Whatever it is, however it's playing out for you, you know, there's things that need to go for the better, for our betterment. And I think we're going to see some possible disappointments that come along with this, because Venus will oppose Chiron. So there could be some kind of, you know, some kind of hurt, or maybe a old wound being triggered where, you know, you may not see something exactly the way you want to see it. Or there could be an event or information that comes about where it tests where you are in your healing journey with this Venus opposed Chiron, right? So it could be a test of your faith. It could be a test of, you know, have you released that old trauma? Have you released the wounds from the past? You know, are you really ready to let it go? You know, and that all depends on how quickly you recover from that, you know, that trigger that may happen during this opposition. I want to preface that, you know, eclipse season, if you're off track in your life and you're not where you need to be in one way or another, eclipse season is a way to kind of derail you back onto the right track, right? So, you know, if you're off track, you will see more significant things happening. You know, it'll feel more of like an upheaval or surprising events that take place where you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Like, what the heck do I do now? You know, change can be forced upon you in order to get you back on track to where you need to be. And I think we have to not fear astrology, not fear eclipses. We have to understand that the universe knows where we're supposed to be. It knows what's for our highest good and what is in line with who we are deep down inside as a soul, and, you know, what's true to our heart. And, you know, sometimes we need, you know, intervention from the universe to make us realize that, you know, make us see our own potential, make us see where we've gotten sidetracked and need to get back on course, you know, with our journey in life and with where our evolution is going, you know. And when we look at the future ahead with Saturn going into Aries, Uranus will be going into Gemini, Pluto's going to go back into Aquarius, Neptune's going to go into Aries. These are all things that are going to be happening within the next year. And I think the eclipse season that we see happening now is nudging us and pushing us to make changes so we can be available for the more significant shifts that are going to be happening over the next year. There's like this new fresh energy that is coming in for us, and we have to be ready for it. So, you know, it's like, okay, have you let go of the things that don't serve you, because we have a lot of great potential lying ahead and we really want to, you know, see you living it. So if you haven't let go of the old baggage, the old garbage that, you know, you're just dragging around with you, now's the time to do it, because your window is, you know, you're going to be locked in soon, you know. Change is happening whether you like it or not, you know, kind of energy. If you want to, you know, if you want to think about what transpired, you know, last time we saw the Pisces eclipse, yes, that can give you a clue as to the kind of themes that can play out during this lunar eclipse. But keeping in mind that they were different, you know, the planets were in different places, so there was different energy to it. But it can give you a general sense of where your focus will be. You know, we do see a lot of patterns with astrology where, you know, when you see certain things happening that have happened before, you kind of get an idea of, okay, these are the potentials that I could be facing with during this time. So if you want to think back to, you know, 18 years ago in 06, between 06 and 08 is when we saw Pisces Virgo eclipses happening. You know, you could see some similarities to what's coming to focus. Now, if you were, you know, say you were starting a family during that time, well, now you could see a focus on family in a different way, where a new chapter is beginning. Maybe your kids are going away to college, and that new chapter of, you know, having different dynamics in the home because your kids are grown up and, you know, doing their thing. There could be very much a focus of, okay, now how are we going to create this new family life with, you know, the children grown up and out of the house, or there could be grandchildren coming into the picture. If you were starting out a career during that time, you know, you could be seeing a culmination of that career where, you know, you're evolving to the next level. If you were buying a home, you know, and, you know, creating your ideal environment, or moving homes during that time, you could be seeing themes of moving homes, you know, and relocating to somewhere that's, you know, more in line with where you're at now in life. If you had a relationship start during that time, you could be seeing the culmination of that. If, you know, very much could be ending, or there could be a significant part of that relationship coming to a head where, you know, it could have to do with your partner. Maybe there's big changes happening with your partner. Either way, this is very much an evolutionary kind of energy of letting go of, you know, what was, and being open to what's coming in and what the future can bring you. So I love this eclipse for so many reasons. I'm very much excited for it, to be honest with you. I've been looking forward to this eclipse because it conjuncts my part of fortune, and that is a lucky spot in your birth chart. And so for me, I've already seen glimpses of how this is going to play out. I don't want to, speak too much about my personal life, but I, in the past week have already seen the lucky opportunities that are coming my way. That will take some time to transpire, but they are coming. So that could play out for you, where you start seeing opportunities that are coming your way that may take some time to develop. It may take some time for them to bear fruit, but this very much could be, like I mentioned earlier, with Neptune conjuncting it, it could be very much like a dream come true. And I'm not just saying that because of my own personal astrology, but Neptune does have the ability to allow us to have those grand visions, and with this energy, you could be getting spiritual downloads while you're sleeping. You can really be tapping into your intuition and really feeling the sense of relief of, okay, I'm okay with what ended, what happened in the past, what I've released, and I know my future is going to be bright ahead. And I know, what's coming next is going to be even better than what was, right? What I just got done releasing, or, whatever chapter you're closing out, especially with the, North Node being within orb of the eclipse, you're being guided towards that new future that lies ahead. And I think that's all I want to say about the eclipse. I think I've made this video long enough. I do hope that all of you have opportunities that are presented to you that bring you peace. Amongst anything else, I would say peace is the one word that I really hope all of you have. Whatever changes come into your life during eclipse season, just honor it, even if it's rocky and unclear and, kind of scary. Just honor it and let it unfold naturally. Let the universe guide you and use that Jupiter wisdom and optimism to know that greater things are ahead. And it's okay to, let go of things that aren't in alignment with you anymore. And that is the way to stay on your path. That is the way to, continue evolving, is to not be afraid to let go of things when it's time to let them go, when you've leveled up and you're ready for something new and bigger and brighter ahead. So I love this for all of us. I hope all of you have a wonderful Pisces lunar eclipse. I can't wait to hear how this plays out for everybody. I do think we have a lot of support from the universe. So tap into it, have faith, and I'll be back with more videos. Enjoy, everyone. And by the way, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. It would really help grow my channel. Mercury retrograde is like lingering for me. But anyway, I digress. Help me grow my channel, subscribe, hit the like button, share your comments. Sending a lot of love to all of you guys, and stay tuned for more videos.